Jayden Daniels has arrived. I repeat, Jayden Daniels has arrived. The new Commanders quarterback is throwing passes right over there. Let's have a podcast.
Guys, this is Tress Way. I understand that there's been a little bit of hype going on about a certain number. Maybe you could take a look around, maybe a little bit behind me. You'll see if there's any big news, but I think there may be somebody new in town.
What up, everybody? It is Beltway Football. I am JP Finley. We are brought to you by Oarsman Automotive of Virginia. Now, that was Tress Way teasing the arrival of the new quarterback and the number change that, frankly, most of us were expecting. Clearly, this was emotional for Tress Way, a guy that's been playing for this team for a decade, has made the Pro Bowl, and is a fan favorite. He's committed to this city. But Jayden Daniels is the new hope for the future. These guys talked it all through, and they made a deal that works for both of them. Here's Tress explaining how it all went down.
I think about the first time I came and.
Why did I do that? See,
Man, nah,
yeah,
you
good,
man.
man.
We played together, man. We played together.
No, man.
And I was one with Chicago.
Yeah.
I didn't like it.
Yeah.
I got there, they gave me one, and I got picked up here on the waiver wire. And it was the first time I felt wanted. Like it was like, hey, like they picked me.
Yeah.
And I came in, 5 was sitting there, and I was like, yeah. I was like, I like that. So it just kind of, whoo, man, this is harder than I thought.
It's all good, man.
But I think about, I was talking to my wife, and I've been fortunate enough to have been voted team captain 4 times. Mm-hmm. And if I get voted captain again in my career, that C gets filled in. And I was like, man, it's going to be weird if I give up the number. The first time I get that C filled in, it's going to be a different number.
Yeah.
And my wife said, why do you have the C like in the first place? Like, what gives you the C? And just feel like there's just so much excitement around this organization, hands down the most I have ever seen. Mm-hmm. Like just all of the excitement building and building and building, and I just feel like this is just a very small part that I could do. Got a rookie coming in, can't imagine what's going on in his head and his heart. And, I'm there for him on 4th down if we have to give the ball away. But maybe this is an example I could show him, hey, I'm here for you now, too.
Obviously, what it means to him, what it means to me, he's a legend here, so I'm very appreciative he allowed me to wear his jersey.
How did that go down?
Just conversation, man. Obviously, it was very hard for him. Sentimental value to him and me. So, just had a conversation. We talked, and we came up with an agreement, and now I'm able to wear it.
Are you able to share the terms of the deal?
Nah, I can't share the terms of the deal, man. That's between me and him. But I'm blessed to be able to wear it.
Okay, now that Numbergate is behind us, and for me, it is way behind. Tress, Jayden, they agreed to a deal. Let's all just move forward. Now that that's all in the past, holy moly, was it almost electric to watch Jayden Daniels on the field. And you don't want to make too much from a rookie minicamp practice. I mean, there's maybe 10 guys on that field that will be on the 53-man roster. But even knowing that, even telling myself, like, okay, check out the other rookies, there was something just mesmerizing about Daniels' level of play. And I think it starts with what is a really tight motion at the top of his release. Everything is so fluid. The ball comes out so easy. They ran a little bit of 7-on-7 during the first day of rookie minicamp, and it looked like he was getting through his progressions almost to the point that, like, he had almost looked through a lot of the playbook. The young man, we don't know. It's super premature. We really don't know what's going to happen. But the way the ball came out, the way he carried himself, there was a lot to like. I've now covered the beginning of 3 different quarterbacks, the RG3 era, the Dwayne Haskins era, and now the Daniels era. And it's day one. A million things could change, but this does feel different. And the way the teammates kind of gravitate towards him, but there's a calm energy. There's nothing up and down. There's no volatility. But I think what really stood out to me is I stood pretty close to Daniels, and the frame concerns, I know that the weight stuff was something that happened. He's not the biggest guy in the world, but he also just seems like a relatively normal guy. Like I don't look at him and think, oh my gosh, there's no way he'll make it through an NFL season. Would you like him to bulk up? Sure, but it wasn't something that stood out to me. I also asked Jayden after the practice session just what it's like talking with Cliff Kingsbury, Tavita Pritchard, Brian Johnson, all these guys. He said he's loving the staff, he's loving this playbook, and we got to remind ourselves when Kingsbury was with Kyler Murray, Kyler's rookie season, he won Rookie of the Year, threw for almost 3,800 yards, and Jayden told me today, he's like, yeah, I was at Arizona State when those guys were, with the Cardinals, Cliff as coach and Kyler as quarterback. So obviously he watched that, and Kyler is more Lamar-ish in his running and cutting ability. Like, Jayden isn't that dude. He's more of a glider. But if you think about what Kyler was able to do in that offense, I think Jayden's the better passer. I think there's real reasons for excitement. But above all, especially, I mentioned before, I was here for Robert, I was here for Dwayne. Listening to Jayden talk, he seems super comfortable in his own skin. He's not trying to project. He's not trying to be what he thinks a starting quarterback should be. He's just being himself.
Being a hard worker, don't try to be somebody I'm not. People see real from fake, authentic, and who's not. So just go out there, just be myself. Try to make connections, talk to people. Obviously, I'm 23. It's a lot of different age ranges in this locker room. So trying to relate as much as possible, show them, I'm all about the team. I'm all about hard work. And I'm just here to get better each and every day.
If you love football and you love your teammates, that's a really good position to start from as a quarterback. I've said this a million times before on the podcast. The locker room always knows. They know who the real ones are and who they aren't. Jayden just seems like a real dude. He's just going to go out there, bust his butt, try to get better every day, and I think people will respond to that. I mean, heck, today it's super early, right? It's day one of Rookie Minicamp, but the way Luke McCaffrey and Ben Sennett talked about him, the way they ran their drills and caught passes from him, there does seem to be this like contagious energy, at least with this rookie group.
Man, I threw with him out in Orange County and really enjoyed spending time with him, throwing, running routes for him. I mean, he's a super talented kid, great dude, and one person I really like to be around and hopefully grow with.
As former QB, what's it like with Jayden catching passes?
He's a stud. I mean, he's a stud. It was so fun. I was lucky enough to get with him a little bit, leading up to this, just being in the same town as he was and being able to do that, get some reps, and then be able to translate that into some competition here in 7-on, and then clean up routes versus air, clean up all that stuff was so much fun, and hopefully we can continue to build a relationship and get better and compete.
Awesome day in Ashburn for the Rooks. Coming up next, we talk to TCU O-line coach A.J. Ricker about Brandon